Beautiful Boy is a 2018 film that was directed by Felix Van Groeningen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I only found out that this was based on a book after the film came out. And this is my second viewing of the film that I'm going to be talking about and comparing to the book because since becoming pretty much just as big of a reader as I am a film fan, I really like reading books first, especially if I know that there's films based on the books. I like to go for the book first and then see how the film compares. And I watched it for a second time, like I said. Originally, when I watched the film, I didn't know it was based on a book. I still loved it. I think I appreciated the film even more coming off of the book. And I really like to compare the two. So I'm mostly going to be talking about the film because this is a film channel, but I am going to be making comparisons to the book as I go along. So we've got Steve Carell playing David Sheff, and we've got Timothy Chalamet playing Nick Sheff, which is David Sheff's son. And the film is about drug addiction, specifically crystal meth. And, we're dealing with a specific drug, but addiction is addiction. It doesn't matter what it is, like porn, gambling, even video games. When you get to a certain level of you can't live without it. It's really all the same when it comes to taking over your life, kind of thing. And I've been addicted to different things in the past. I've had to get over my own demons of stuff that I won't get into, but I've felt the chains of addiction, and I've with certain things, and I've battled with it myself, so I understand how unfreeing it can be. And with Nick Chef specifically, trying all kinds of drugs and getting hooked on all kinds of drugs, but his drug of choice being crystal meth, and the way that it's described in the movie, and then even more in the book, it's one of the most powerful, most addicting, and most life destroying drugs there is out there now. I think Timothy Chalamet kills it in this film. I think his performance is wonderful. I loved it the first time around. I love it the second time around. Steve Carell also does an amazing job, but the star of the show is Timothy Chalamet. He really knows his character. He doesn't overdo it either. It's not like a sob show. It's not like it's very easy to overact and just go too far with, like, to overdo it, kind of thing. I'm trying to describe it the best I can, but it's very easy to overact in a role like this, and I don't think he does at all. I think he just nails it perfectly, and he's really believable. And he like I said, he dives into Nick Chef's character really well, and whether he researched it, whether he talked to him in real life, probably did. He really does a good job, and Steve Carell too is believable in his character playing David Chef. The film takes moments from the book and pretty much copies them the way they were described in the book. Now, it doesn't really do a play by play necessarily. Like most films, they adapt it to go back and forth with events that are happening in the book. And the ending of the film pretty much ends at around 3/4 of where the book, something that happens in the book about 3/4 in, it ends there. So I'll just say that there was a situation where Nick Chef overdoses, and pretty much it's him hitting rock bottom. I'm talking kind of like so spoiler ish, but I'm not going to get in too much detail. The film decides to end basically as he hits rock bottom, and then they don't go any further than that. Whereas the book, there was about a quarter left to show the aftermath of what happened after he hit rock bottom, and it kind of has a more of a finale than the film does. But the film basically, it decided to end there without any need to keep going with the recovery part and the what happens after the hitting rock bottom kind of thing, where he nearly dies. The point of the film has already been made, so it kind of, I think the film wants to give you a glimpse of, you know the turmoil and the destruction that your life can take with it, and pretty much leave it at there. And there's obviously titles after the final frame where it says like how many deaths happen a year with addiction of all kinds, and like the impact that drugs have, essentially, which a lot of people know, but I don't think a lot of people know in detail. Obviously, the book is way more detailed when it comes to facts and statistics. And this, I also didn't know that it was very autobiographical, especially on the author, David Sheff, because David Sheff is writing his details and his experiences with his son, but also in his own life when he was younger. And it's autobiographical on his own life. So it's not really a narrative story. It's nonfiction, obviously, but I thought it was a nonfiction, more narrative kind of book when I bought it, and I wasn't expecting memoir kind of style, but that's exactly what it is. And I still enjoyed it for that. There are sections of the book though that totally take away from the experiences from the dad, and he starts going into actual facts. And he's a researcher. He interviews people and stuff like that. And this book is full of quotes that he's gotten from other people, other addicts, other professionals, all kinds, and on the drug. Like there's a whole chapter that is just facts on crystal meth, like just detailed facts on that and nothing else. So this book does take breaks in the narrative side of things and goes into a lot of factual things, whereas the film plays off just a narrative kind of thing. And like I said, picks and chooses moments in the book to focus on and really do exactly the things that were happening in the book in those specific moments. Now, there's this character in this book named Z, and in the film, she's played by Caitlin Dever, if I'm not mistaken. The actress's name is Caitlin Dever. She plays Lauren in the film. Now, there's two girls that Nick gets involved with in the book. One is Z, and then the other one, I forget her name, but the way they portrayed Lauren in the movie sounds like Z in the book, so I guess they just decided to change her name for whatever reason. But her character in the movie is like the girl Z is in the book. So I'm guessing that's kind of who they were referring to. They just changed her name. But yeah, Caitlin Dever also does a really good job. She's there as like a side character. Like you don't really, her character is not built that much, but it's just to show kind of somebody that makes Nick fall into the loop of drugs again, which a lot of things do. It's not just people, but it's places and things and everything else. But the movie definitely focuses a lot on David Sheff, played by Steve Carell, and his second wife, Karen. Is it Karen? I think it's Karen. And then Vicky is his first wife, Nick's mother. And Dave has two other kids, Jasper and forget the girl's name. It's two kids. I'm blanking now on the kids' names. I'm bad with names, but and I think it's Kid. It might be something else. Starts with a K. His second wife, and their turmoil and their struggle with everything, and having your heart and soul tied to a child. And that's one thing I've never experienced because I have no kids. But I hear mothers and fathers' stories all the time, and it's literally like a tie to that person. It's like part of your soul is in that person, and their pain is your pain, and their struggle is your struggle, and when they're suffering, you're suffering as much. That's what every parent says. And yeah, Steve Carell just really shows his emotions in this film, and I know he's known for comedy a lot, but he's a good dramatic actor, and I can't praise Timothée Chalamet enough for really giving an amazing portrayal in Beautiful Boy. So it is, I can't say, I don't know if it's disappointing or not where the film decides to end, because there was a little bit more narrative to be told. But again, I was trying to explain it the best I can if I did what the movie was going for, because I did want to see a little bit more where the book took me after Nick hitting rock bottom, but I think where the film decided to leave it was fine too. I thought it would be kind of word vomit maybe, or the film trying to over explain things when it really didn't have to. And the film is already 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 5 minutes or something like that. Or is it? I don't know, maybe it was shorter. But I think the film decided to keep it. It was probably a good decision where the director decided to keep the ending of that film. And translating an autobiographical piece of work into a narrative film, I think this film did a really good job with it. I gave this film a 4.5 out of 5. I really liked it, and it definitely portrays what drug addiction actually is. Because, like I said, I think people know and understand logically what it is, but it's very hard for a person who's never been down that road and walked in those shoes to really understand. And I think this book is genius in explaining it, and I think the movie is too. So I loved Beautiful Boy. Great performances all around, and it's worth checking out. So strong recommendation from me. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.